Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Newt, or Randy, whichever you prefer. So recently I've been working on a hammer for OG Frenchy at Frenchy's Forge. And it's a double diagonal. And here's our progress thus far. The hole is completely drifted, and both peens have a pretty severe fish mouth. So I'm going to have a crap load of grinding, which you will get to see some of. After I get done with that, I got a bunch of polishing and heat treat to do. I don't think I'll get to the heat treat today. I mean, there's that much grinding to do. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into what we got to get done here. Zoom you in a little bit. Alright, so the first thing we got to do, where you at, is start getting this fish mouth out. I'm going to take out one at a time and get it down to the center as much as possible. that's warm. Alright, it's cooled down a little bit. So, zoom you back out. Alright, so, as you can see, most of the face slipping is gone, but I shortened that face by quite a bit, so I think I'm going to draw that out some more, make the face a little bit smaller after I get the other side ground. So when I start heating it up to draw it out, I'll bring you all back. I think we need to get a little warmer because you don't want to squish too well. I think next heat I'm going to switch to the drawing dies. Draw them out a little easier. But alright, yeah, I got a little bit of good squish on that one. So yeah, drawing dies it is. See you in a bit. Oh, much better. Oh, look at that. Drew that sucker out quite a ways. And the fish mouth isn't even that bad. Nice. Alright, I'm going to go heat up the other side. And we're going to do it again. So yeah, the cheeks look a lot, or the faces look a lot better, but I'm going to have to completely re-drip that hole, which, you know, considering that the faces are drawn out longer, yeah, I don't mind one bit. Alright, so next heat will be at the anvil. Come on. Ouch! Let go. Thank you. Sucker did not want to let go. Since Ted and I are in the touch market, I'm going to try and avoid hitting the Chiefs as much as possible. So yeah, that way I don't mess up the touch marks at all. But anyway, I'll see you in the next heat. Woo-hoo! Nice and warm. Just put that there for a minute. That there. Ah, she's going through, but slowly. And it's warming my punch up quite a bit. Though it's going to take a lot of heating to be. I think I'll switch to a heavier hammer here. Alright, see you next heat. Almost through. And that's about all she's got for cap. So last heat, it got a little stuck. Wound up taking it over to the vise and knocking it out. From there I took it over to the grinder and cleaned up the drifting area that a little bit. Alright. I think I'm happy with that. Come on. There it goes. Now to get the other side. That looks about right. Alrighty. Looks good to me. I'm going to heat it up one more time, throw it in the vermiculite overnight. Come on. Get off. Thank you. So, I'm going to take you over to the vermiculite and let you see what that looks like as I stuff in this hammerhead. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so in this extra large ammo can, we have vermiculite, and what it does, it insulates very well and allows an item or project to hold its heat for an extended period of time. And that extended period of time will allow it to thing to cool slower, thereby reducing the grain structure of, say, a knife or a hammerhead, and make it a lot stronger. If you don't do this and you opt for, say, thermal cycling, you'll have a little bit weaker blade, but you can still reduce your grain structure quite a bit via thermal cycling, but not quite as much as you can using vermiculite or a heat treating oven where you can cool it over a much longer period of time. So here we go. Open up. Check for it goes. And bury it. Let it sit overnight. So now we're going to show you what forge we're using after I shut it off. Alrighty. This is the Graham forge made by Atlas Knife and Tool. And see, she gets quite hot. And over here is the blower. So it is a forced air forge, and she will literally turn your steel into a sparkler if you're not careful. So yeah, I love this forge, and with me working for Atlas Knife and Tool, I gotta say, I have not seen a better product. I've used lots of forges over my time, and I have never, ever seen a better forge. So yeah, shout out to Charles at Atlas Knife and Tool for designing such a wonderful product. So with that, I'm going to call it quits for the day, and I will bring you back tomorrow when we go back to grinding this hammerhead. And talk to you later. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Welcome back, guys. I know it's only been a night. I believe yesterday we left off with me explaining why vermiculite is much better than thermocycline, and me stuffing them Frenchy's hammerhead down into the vermiculite. So, here's where we stand. I had to redrift the eye because using the press kind of squished the eye a little bit, but I drew it out quite a ways, and there is, this way, very little face slipping. And it's there, but it's almost non-existent. Same on the other side. So yeah, here in a little bit, after I enjoy my cigar a little bit, we're going to hop over on the grinder and clean up the scale, any cold shots, get rid of all that crap, get rid of the fish lipping. Hopefully by the end of this evening, I will have a clean hammer ready for heat treat, hand sanding, and polishing. See you in a bit. But yeah, I'd say it's coming pretty clean really quick. Alright, so I'll let you go for now. I'll bring you back here when I have some more updates. Alright, I got it mostly cleaned up to 120. This side's a little hot. I started working on this edge to get rid of this big obtuse oval. It's got to go away. So yeah, they got to be semi-straight and ovoid, but not to that extreme. So yeah, I'm thinking it looks good. I'm liking it so far. I'm gonna have a little bit of filing to do inside the eye. It's no big deal. I'm good enough with the file to do that. So yeah, progress update. Still a long way to go, and a lot of work. But Frenchy's worth it. Alright, both ends are now rounded to 30 with the 36 grit. I think they look pretty good. There's no sharp spots, well, at least there won't be, but it's looking good so far. I'm happy with it, mostly. It's far from perfect. Then again, I don't have a whole lot of experience in making hammers, but I think it'll serve Frenchy very well. Alrighty. I'm going to start sanding this on 120. I'll show you how I'm doing that. Slide you over here and bring you in a little closer. So I'm starting at a steep angle here, just to get rid of those sharp edges. And slowly walking it into the middle. Alright, that's 120 all the way around. I think it's about time to head up to a much higher grit for the faces. I'm going to switch that out, get going on that, take a break. I'm getting a little thirsty and hungry, so see you when I come back. Alright, faces are done up to 600. I think that's as far as I'm going to go. All that's left to do is a touch marks and heat treat, since my good friend Ted Wilhelm of TBW Blades did a lot of help on this. I think he deserves to have his touch mark on it. So, Mr. Wilhelm, again, I thank you for everything you've done on this hammer. You helped a great deal. Even though you weren't on camera, you did help. And I appreciate it more than you will ever know. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of this video. Bring you up so you can see my face. Alright. So yeah, this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and please like, subscribe, and follow. Dude, I can't express it how grateful I am for you guys watching. Take care.